In this video, I'm going to be giving you a full Google Shopping Ads tutorial for your Shopify e-commerce and dropshipping stores. So let me give you a brief overview of what Google Shopping Ads are. So if you just head over to Google and type in the name of a product, so as you can see here, I've just typed in men's corduroy trousers. All of the products that show up here are ran through Google Shopping Ad campaigns. And this is a great way to get your products showing up at the top of Google when somebody types in a related keyword that is linked to one of the products that you're selling on your Shopify store. So like I say, this is a really great and cost-effective way to start marketing your Shopify stores because people already have an intent to actually purchase these products because they're already searching for them on Google. Now, why should you listen to me? Well, I've spent over $250,000 on Google Shopping Ad campaigns, so I know a thing or two about running and setting them up. And as I say, they're a really cost-effective way to start bringing in traffic to your Shopify stores because you only pay cost per click. And that means you only pay when somebody actually clicks on one of your products and comes through to your Shopify store. And because they're already searching for the products that you're selling, they have a higher intent to purchase. So Google Shopping Ads are a really great way to actually start bringing in traffic. Now, what are we actually going to go through in this tutorial? Well, I have broken it down into 7 steps, and I have left the timestamps in the description so you can skip to any part of the tutorial whenever you want to. If you go away, you can come back to the tutorial and pick up exactly where you left off. So the first part of the tutorial, I am just going to go over what you need to set up on your Shopify store before you even think about running Google Shopping Ads. There are a few things that you need to have in place on your Shopify store before you start running any campaigns at all. The next step, I'll show you how to create your Google Ads account and your Google Merchant Center account. Now, the Google Merchant Center is where you house all of your product information. So we'll be showing you later on how you can connect that from Shopify through to the Google Merchant Center. Step 3, I'll be showing you how to prepare your products for Google Shopping Ads. So before you start running any campaigns, you are going to want to make sure that all of your products are optimized for search engines, and you are also going to want to make sure that all of your products have a GTIN barcode. Don't worry too much about it right now. I am going to take you through all of the steps, but these are a few things that you need to have in place before you start running Google Shopping Ad campaigns. It's not complicated at all. I'm going to give you a complete step-by-step guide, so don't think it's complicated or you need any technical knowledge. It's very simple to set up. Step 4, I'm going to show you how to sync your product data from Shopify through to your Google Merchant Center. So like I said, your Google Merchant Center is where you house all of the information about your products. So for example, your product title, your product description, the images, the prices, the variants like sizes and color variations and things like that. I'm going to show you how to sync all of that information from Shopify through to the Merchant Center. So then when you start running ads, all of your product titles, descriptions, the pricing, everything that you see here, the size 34S as you can see here, will be synced through to Google directly from Shopify. Step 5, I'm going to show you how to set up your first Google Shopping Ads campaign and start testing products with Google Shopping Ads. And then step 6, I will show you how to rectify Google Ads and Google Merchant Center suspensions. Occasionally, or actually quite frequently, when stores create a new Google Ads and Google Merchant Center account, Google sometimes does suspend the account because it is brand new. So I will be showing you how you can get that suspension lifted. So again, you don't need to worry. I'm going to be showing you every step you need to take to get your Google Shopping Ad campaigns up and running. And then the final step, which is step 7, I'm going to be showing you how to read all of the data from your Google Shopping Ad campaigns so that you can ensure that they are profitable and you can start scaling them. And as I mentioned, I have spent over $250,000 on Google Shopping Ad campaigns, so I know a thing or two about running and scaling Google Shopping Ad campaigns. So now that I have shown you the agenda for this tutorial, and as I mentioned, all of the timestamps are in the description, let's start with the first step of the tutorial, which is the things you need to put in place before you start running any Google Shopping Ad campaigns. So the first thing you do need to put in place is you need to have a store in one niche, and it needs to be well branded. So don't think that you can have a general store or a store selling all different types of products from all different categories and all different niches. You are going to need to have a niche store to run Google Shopping Ads. Google is very strict and strenuous with their regulations, and they don't really like stores that sell all different types of products because they find them spammy and they find that it gives customers a poor experience. So make sure you have a niche store. So as you can see, this store is in the men's sort of smartwear niche. So if we have a look at some of the collections, you can see we have knitwear, outerwear and jackets, we have polos, rings, shirts, shoes, but it's all men's smarter wear, right? So this is the niche. It's a clothing store for men's smart clothing. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you're going to want to have at least 30 to 50 products before you start running Google Shopping ad campaigns. So don't think that you can have a store with 2 or 3 products. Google Shopping ad campaigns are probably not going to work for you if you have a very small catalog on your store. So like I say, you're going to want to have at least 30 to 50 products. This store actually has 300 products, which is a very good amount, but as long as you have around 30 to 50 products, you can start running Google Shopping ad campaigns for your store. So those are first few things to mention. The next thing to mention that is super essential before you start running Google Shopping ad campaigns, you need to have a phone number and a professional email address for your store. You will not be able to run Google Shopping ad campaigns without a phone number for your store and without a professional email address. Now, you don't need to answer the phone calls for your store if you don't want to. Just have a phone number for your store so that when Google scrapes your website, it will see there is a phone number in the footer of your store. And this indicates to them that your store isn't a scam and it is a real store, and it will stop you from getting suspensions and things like that. And like I say, you are going to want to have a professional email address for your store. So not a Gmail, not an Outlook or anything like that. You are going to want to have a professional email address with your domain name. You are also going to want to have a contact us page on your store. So you need to have multiple methods for customers to be able to contact you, namely a professional email address, a phone number, and a contact us page on your store. You will also need all of your policy pages. So you'll need a shipping policy, you'll need a refund policy, a privacy policy, a terms of service. Also, if you can have an order tracking page as well, that will really help. It's all about giving the customer a really good experience, and Google will sometimes manually review your store. So your store needs to look super professional. Everything needs to be in place. And when it comes to writing your policies, make sure that all of the information is correct. Don't just copy and paste it from other stores. So make sure your shipping policy has unique content. Your refund policy has unique content. Your privacy policy has the correct content. So for example, it's going to have your store name in there. It's going to have the correct contact details in there in your privacy policy. The same with your terms of service. So make sure all of the information is correct and unique for your policy pages. And then finally, for your actual products, you're going to want to make sure that you have unique product titles. They're easy to read, easy to understand. And also you're going to want to make sure that you have unique product descriptions. So again, no copying and pasting from other stores, no having the bare minimum. If you're a dropshipper, don't just import products and have the bare minimum. Make sure you have really well-written descriptions that are easy to understand, easy to digest. Explain what the product is correctly, and the same with the titles. So you can see the title here. It says design half zip striped sweater for men, and this is exactly what the product is. Black and blue. We've got a black one here. We have a blue one here. Casual layering, old money knitwear. So you're going to want to make sure your titles are very well written and again easy to understand. And with your product pages as well, make sure everything looks good and it's neat and it is correct. So make sure, for example, the colors for the products are correct. So we have black and we have blue. So these are the correct colors. So don't have black and green, but the image is a blue product, because again, Google can suspend you for things like that. Make sure all of your sizes, if you're running a clothing store, are in the correct order. So we've got medium, large, extra large, 2XL, 3XL. If they're in the incorrect order, then it makes it confusing for the customer. And again, if you're running a clothing store, make sure you have things like a size guide. So you really just want to make sure that your store is professional, trustworthy, it looks good. You don't have a scammy, spammy looking store. That's the main and most important thing. Before you start running any Google Shopping ad campaigns, you need to make sure your store looks good. And your store should look good anyway. If you want to make sales and you want to have a higher conversion rate, then it's advantageous for you to have a good store anyway. So now I have explained a little bit about the things you need to put in place before you start running any Google Shopping ad campaigns. Let's move on to the next part of the tutorial, where we will set up our Google Ads account and our Google Merchant Center account. The first thing you are going to do in order to start running Google Shopping ads for your Shopify store is to create a Google Ads account. So you can just head over to Google, type in Google Ads account and click on the first link, and then you will come over to the Google Ads homepage, and from here you can click on Start Now. You will then be prompted to sign into a Google account. So if you have a Google account already, you can simply sign in. If you don't have a Google account, you can simply click on Create Account, create a Google account, and then you can sign in to move on to the next steps. Now, I already have a Google account for my Shopify store, so I'm just going to sign in and click on Next. So I'm just going to enter in my password and click on Next. And once you sign into your Google account, you will be brought over to Google Ads, and it will say create your first campaign. Now, we're not going to create our first campaign, so just click to the side. Once you click to the side, you will be prompted to enter in some further information about your business. However, we don't want to create our first campaign just yet, because we have quite a few other things we need to set up before we start running our first Google Shopping Ads campaign. So all we're going to do for now is just enter in our business name, and we are going to enter in the URL to our Shopify website. Click on Next. You will then be prompted to link any other Google apps that are associated with your Google account. So as you can see, Google has recognized that I have a YouTube channel for my store as well. So you can simply link these, but don't worry about this. You don't need to do this. So you can just click on Skip for now. You will then be prompted to choose your advertising objective. However, because we don't want to set up our first ads campaign just yet, because we have a few other things that we need to do prior to setting up our first Google Shopping Ads campaign, you can simply scroll down on this page, and where it says not ready for a campaign, just click on Set Up Ads Account Only. You can then choose the billing country, time zone, and currency for your Google Ads account and click on Continue. You will then see Payments Profile, so click on Create a New Payments Profile. You will then be prompted to choose a profile type, so you have organization or individual. So if you don't have a registered business, you can just choose individual, and if you do have a registered business, you can choose organization. You can then just enter in the details, so your organization's name, which would be the name of your store, and then you can enter in your address and click on Create. When you scroll down on the next page, you will be prompted to add tax information. However, this is optional, so you don't need to add this. However, you will need to add a payment method to your Google Ads account. So click on Add Payment Method. You can choose between adding a debit or credit card or adding a bank account. So I'm going to choose a debit or credit card. And then you can add your debit card and click on Save Card. You can then agree to the Google Ads terms and click on Submit. You will then need to verify your information for your Google Ads account. So click on Continue. And once you verify your payment method, you will be brought over to your Google Ads account and it will say your account was created. So now just click on Continue. Google will then prompt you to enter in some further information. So they'll ask you, is your organization an advertising agency? So just select No, and then scroll down and it will say who pays for your ads. Then just say, yes, we pay for ads directly, and then just click on Save and Continue. You will then be brought over to your Google Ads account. So now we've set up our Google Ads account, the next thing we need to do is set up a Google Merchant Center account. Now, the Google Merchant Center holds all of the information about your products. So this gets synced through from your Shopify store. So this will be stuff like your product titles, your product descriptions, your product images, your product prices, product variants, and so on. And I'm going to show you how to sync all of that information from Shopify through to your Google Merchant Center, and then we can start running Google Shopping Ads campaigns. So just head over to Google again, type in Google Merchant Center, and find the link that says Google Merchant Center, and then you will come over to the Google Merchant Center and you are going to click on Start Now. Again, you will be prompted to log into your Google account. So once you have logged into your Google account, you will be brought over to this page in the Google Merchant Center. So we'll say, do you sell products online? We are going to click Yes, and then we are going to enter in our website's name. And then it says, do you have a physical store? We are going to choose No and click on Continue. Now, the Google Merchant Center will recognize that your website is a Shopify store. So it will say, show your products across more of Google with the Merchant Center. Now, we're not going to connect Shopify to our Google Merchant Center right away, because this is going to use the default Shopify app that will connect Google to Shopify. However, we're going to be using a different Shopify app that is much more accurate and easier to use. So for now, we are going to click on Continue to Merchant Center. It will then say, show your products on Google for free. Just scroll down to the bottom and click on Continue to Merchant Center. Enter in your store's name and enter in your country and click on Continue to Merchant Center. You will then be brought over to the Google Merchant Center. Now there are a few other bits of information that we need to add here before we link our Shopify products to our Google Merchant Center account. So firstly, you will see add your business address. So click on add, enter in your business address. Now this can just be your home address if you are running your store yourself from home, and click on continue. You will see add details to show how you ship your products. So click on add or remove countries. And from here, choose all of the countries that you sell to. So I'm just going to go and choose all of the countries that I sell to. You can simply go and type this in. So for example, I can choose the United Kingdom, United States. I can then go and delete this. And then you are just going to go and choose any countries that you do ship to. Once you have chosen all of the countries that you ship to, click on confirm and then click on continue. You can then name your shipping policy and you can select the countries that your shipping policy applies to. So you can have different shipping policies for different countries. So you could name one the US shipping policy, then the UK shipping policy, and so on. If you have the same shipping policy for all countries, you can just select all added countries and have one main shipping policy and click on continue. You can then choose the products that your shipping policy applies to. So I'm just going to choose all products and click on continue. And then you can set up your order cutoff time, your handling times, and your transit times. Now make sure that these match the same times that are on your Shopify store's shipping policy. So they should match exactly. So as you can see here, I've put my handling times are 1 to 4 days, Monday to Friday, which are business days. And on my store, it says 1 to 4 business days. So that's Monday to Friday. And as you can see, estimated delivery time is 8 to 15 business days. So I've chosen 8 to 15 business days, which is Monday to Friday. So just make sure that if this information matches the same information on your website, and that way you're less likely to be restricted or suspended by the Google Merchant Center. So once you've entered that information in, just click on continue. You can then choose your shipping costs. So if you have free shipping, you can just choose free shipping. If you have flat rate shipping, you can go and choose that. If you have free shipping over a specific order value, you can go and choose that as well. Now don't worry, you can of course go and edit these as well later on. So if your shipping prices do change, you can of course go and edit this information again later on. So I have free shipping on my website. Again, just make sure that this matches the same information that's on your Shopify store. So my store offers free shipping. So I'm just going to choose free shipping and click on save. Once you have entered that information in, just click on done. Next up, we need to add our returns policy. So click on add, enter in the URL to your returns and refunds policy from your Shopify store. Select the countries that this refund policy applies to, and then just scroll all the way down. You will see returns here. Do you accept returns? Just choose yes. And then do you accept exchanges? You can click on yes if you do accept exchanges. If you don't, you can just click on no, I don't accept exchanges, and then click on next. You can then choose the product condition. So I recommend to go for only new products. You can then enter in the return window. So I'm going to choose 30 days, which is the same as my website. So if we come over to my store, you can see we offer a 30-day return window. So you are going to want to make sure that the return window on here is the same as the one on your store again. And then you can click on next. You can then choose the return method. So I'm going to choose by mail. You can then choose the currency. So I'm going to choose GBP because that is the same currency as my store. You can then choose the return label. So this is going to be customer's responsibility in my case. And I think if you're a dropshipper, it's going to be the customer's responsibility. But in some cases, if you have a store where you are offering customers free returns, you can go and choose two of the other options. So I'm going to choose customer's responsibility. You can choose a restocking fee. I'm just going to put no cost. And then you can choose the refund processing time. So I'm going to choose 10 days. Make sure this is the same as your website. So if we scroll down, you can see the refund will be issued to your original payment method within 10 days. So that is what is on my store. You can give yourself a little bit of a buffer time if you want to. So I could go and put this to 15 days, for example, because we are going to have to deal with the backwards and forwards of exchanges of emails. And then we will go and submit the refund. So the customer will take 10 days after that. So we're going to enter in 15 days in here and click on next. You can then just double check that all of this information is correct. Click on confirm and click on save. Next up, you will be prompted to set up sales tax. So click on setup and you can choose which US states to collect sales tax for. Now I do recommend to speak to a tax advisor in order to do this. If you're just starting out, you likely don't need to collect sales tax right away because it is based on a certain threshold of revenue incoming. So if you're a complete beginner, I wouldn't worry too much about that. This isn't financial advice, so I do have to leave that as a disclaimer. I do recommend to speak to a tax advisor or an accountant for your store when you are setting this up. But like I say, in most cases, as a beginner, you won't be over the threshold of revenue that you need in order to start collecting sales tax. So we're just going to click on save for this for now, and then click on save again. So now we have set up all of our Google Merchant Center settings. The last thing we need to do is add our products to the Google Merchant Center. And we are going to sync this information through from our Shopify store so we don't have to do it manually. So that means all of our product titles, descriptions, images, pricing, variants, and so on will be synced through from our Shopify store to our Google Merchant Center. So now we are going to head over to our Shopify dashboard. And from here, the first thing that I do want to recommend you to do if you are going to run Google Shopping ads is to make sure the search engine optimization for all of your products is done correctly. So I recommend to install this app called SEO Ant, AI SEO. So you can just head over to the Shopify App Store and you can install this app called SEO Ant. And this app allows you to actually go and optimize your products for search engines. And this is going to actually help with your Google Shopping ad campaigns as well. So essentially what you can do once you install this app, you can come down to content optimization, and then you can come over to products, and then you can choose any of your products. And from here, you can optimize your products for certain keywords and you will get an SEO score. So you can see here, I've got my title, loose fit men's short sleeve polo shirt, and I am focusing on the keyword men's short sleeve polo shirts. So this app will allow you to do keyword research and also to suggest keywords for your products. And then you can go and optimize your product for SEO using this app. So it will tell you exactly what you need to do. So it will say target keywords should be included. It will help you write the product descriptions and it will give you Google SEO advice. I do have a full tutorial on using this app, but the app is pretty straightforward. You just need to follow the suggestions and just make sure that all of your products are over 80 for an SEO score. And that's really going to help with your Google Shopping ad campaigns because it will allow you to create product listings that are optimized for keywords that people are actually searching for. And if people are searching for them, that means they're more likely to find your Google Shopping ads, click through to them and actually make a purchase. So I do recommend to set up all of your products so that they are optimized for SEO and have a high SEO score for keywords with high search terms and good keyword suggestions. So you can see here all of my products are optimized. Most of them have over 90 SEO score. A few of them have around an 86, 84 SEO score, which is still good. So as you can see, I have around 300 products on this store and they're all optimized for SEO. Once you have optimized all of your products for SEO, the next step of the tutorial is for us to assign a GTIN number to every single product variant on our store. GTIN stands for Global Trade Item Number. I'm not going to go into too much detail about what it actually is, but all you need to know is that this is a requirement to run Google Shopping ads. If you want to run Google Shopping ads, Google expects every single one of your product variants to have an assigned GTIN to the product. So like I say, whether you're a dropshipper or whether you're shipping out the products yourself, Google expects your products to have a GTIN number. If your products don't have one, they'll likely be suspended from running Google Shopping ads. So that's all you really need to know. So for the next part of the tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can purchase GTIN numbers and assign them to your product variants. Now, firstly, you're going to have to work out how many GTIN numbers you need to purchase. And like I say, it's not just for every product, it's for every product variant. So what you can do is you can come over to products. From here, we are going to select our active products because these are going to be the products that we actually advertise and require a GTIN. So select your active products, then select all products. And then where it says 50 selected, click on the drop down, click on select all in active. And then we have selected all of our products. Then we are going to export the information about our products. So we are going to click on export. You are going to choose 50 plus products matching your search, and you are going to export this as a CSV for Excel. So just click on export products, and then you will see your export will be emailed to your email address. Once you have downloaded that, you can go and open that export as an Excel sheet. And from here, you can figure out how many variants you have, and that way you can figure out how many GTIN numbers you are going to need. So what you're going to do is, once you open up the sheet, you will see all of the information about your Shopify store's products. So you'll see the handle, you'll see the title, the body, the vendor. What you're going to do is you are going to come over to option value, and you're going to choose one of the option values. So you can choose option value 2. In this case, it's going to be size, or you can go and choose color. You're just going to choose one of your variant options. So choose color, choose size, whatever your variants are. So in my case, I have variants of color, I have variants of size. So most of my variants are either color or size. If you're selling electronics, it might be plug type and things like that. So you're just going to come over to one of your variant columns, and now we are going to filter this. So come to the top of the column where it says option 1 name. We are going to right click this, and we are going to click on filter. We can then choose the drop down under filter, and from here you will see select all. And where it says select all, the number here is going to be the number of variants that you have on your store. So you can see for me, I nearly have 6,000 variants on my store. So that is between color, size, and style. I nearly have 6,000 variants on my store. So that is how many GTIN numbers I'm going to need to purchase. I'm going to need around 6,000 GTIN numbers. Now, you don't have to purchase a GTIN number for every single product if you don't plan on advertising those products. So if you only plan on advertising a certain select few products, you'll only need to purchase GTIN numbers for the variants for those products. So if you just want to start out by testing, for example, 30 products in your store, you just need to see how many variants you have from those 30 products. So you can go and count that manually if you want to, or you can go and filter your Excel sheet to go and see how many variants you need for those 30 products that you want to test with your Google Shopping ad campaigns. So if you wanted to do that, all you would need to do is just select the products that you want to advertise. So let's just say I wanted to advertise these 10 products here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What I can do again is I can just go and export the information from these products, and then I can do the same thing. So you can see here, this one has 8 variants, this one has 25, 10. So you can count them manually, or you can simply export the information. And then again, you're just going to use the filter option here to see how many variants there is for those particular products. So if you only want to go and advertise a select few products, you can just go and see how many variants those products have, and then we're just going to purchase GTIN numbers for the variants for those products. So you don't necessarily need to purchase a GTIN number for every single variant in your store unless you plan on running advertising campaigns for every single product variant in your store. So now you know how many GTIN numbers you need to purchase based on the amount of variants that you plan on advertising. Now we're actually ready to purchase those GTIN numbers. So what we're going to do is we are going to come to apps, and then we are going to click on app and sales channel settings, and we are going to come to Shopify App Store. And from here, we are going to type in GTIN, and you will see this app here, AR by GTINs. So we are going to choose this, and we are going to click on install, and we are going to click on install again. Once you click on install, you will be brought over to this page where you can purchase your GTIN numbers. And then after this, we will assign those GTIN numbers to our products. So purchase as many as you need. As you can see, you have packages of 100, 250, 500, 1000, and so on. Now I'm going to need the 10,000 package because I have 5,600 product variants on my store. But like I say, if you just want to start testing a few products with Google Shopping ads, then you only need to purchase as many GTIN numbers as you need for the variants for those products. So it's totally up to you. I'm going to go for the 10,000 package. So I'm going to click on buy GTINs. You will see this message. So just click on OK. Click on approve. You will then be redirected back to this page that says, thank you for your order. The GTINs are added to your account and can be used from now on. So now you can assign your GTIN numbers to your products. Now there are 2 ways to do this. You can create a collection for the products that you want to assign your GTIN numbers to. So that's if you want to assign them to a specific set of products. So what we can do is we can come back to Shopify, we can come to collections, you can click on add collection. You are going to call the collection auto add GTINs, choose manual collection type and click on save. Then you can come to products, And you can choose the products that you want to add GTIN numbers to. So for example, if I choose these 3 products, whichever products you want to choose, you can click on these 3 dots, click on add to collections, and you can choose the auto add GTINs collection, click on save. And now those products that have been added to the auto add GTINs collection are ready to add the GTINs to. So you can come back to this page in the other tab, and then you will see auto add GTINs. So you can choose this, you can click add GTINs to, and then you can go and choose products and variants from collection auto add GTINs. And then all you need to do is click on start adding GTINs. Now I'm going to add my products to all products and variants. So I'm not going to add mine to a specific collection. I'm just going to add mine to every single product, but it's up to you. If you want to add them to a specific set of products, you can just add them to a collection as I've just shown you, and then choose from collection auto add GTINs. So once you have done that, you are going to click on start adding GTINs. You will then see the GTINs being added, and you will see the progress bar over here. So I've got quite a lot of GTINs to be added, so mine's going to take a little bit longer than yours most likely. If you've only got a couple hundred or a few thousand GTIN numbers to add to your products, this process will be a lot quicker. So we're just going to wait for this process to be completed. So as you can see, the process has now been completed and all of my GTINs have been assigned to my products. Now you can also double check this. You can come into your products within Shopify, and we can go and find our GTINs that have been assigned to our products. So just click on products. You can choose any of your products. So I'll just choose this product here. And once you're on the product, you can scroll down. You can just choose the variants, click on bulk edit. And then from here, just go to columns. And then you are just going to choose the barcode column. And in the barcode column, you should see now that all of your variants have a barcode. Now, of course, you're not going to do this for every single product variant because that would be very time consuming, but that's just to show you that you can see if a product does have a GTIN assigned to it. So now you can see the products have GTINs assigned to them. So now we have completed that process and all of our product variants have a GTIN assigned to them. So they are ready for Google Shopping ad campaigns. So for the next part of the tutorial, we need to connect all of our Shopify product information and push it to our Google Merchant Center. So then we can house all of that product information in the Google Merchant Center. So in order to do this, we will be using another Shopify app. So we are going to scroll down to apps and we are going to click on app and sales channel settings. We are going to click on Shopify App Store. And from here, you are going to type in Simp Rosie's. And you're going to see this one here, Simp Rosie's Google Shopping Feed. So just click on this. Now this is a paid app, but it is very reasonably priced and it is the best app out there to sync all of your Shopify product information through to the Google Merchant Center correctly. So if we just scroll down, you can see that it starts at just $5 per month for up to 500 products. So it is very reasonably priced. So from here, you can just click on install and click on install again. Once you install the Simp Rosie's app, we are going to sign into the app using our Google account. So click on sign in with Google, choose the Google account that is associated with your Google Ads account and your Google Merchant Center. Sign into the same Google account you used to sign up for your Google Ads account and Google Merchant Center and click on continue. It will say select what Simp Rosie's Google Shopping feed can access, choose select all and click on continue. You will then be prompted to choose the Google Merchant Center account you created. So just choose your Google Merchant Center account and click on confirm and continue. You can then choose your primary target country. So this is going to be the country that you mainly want to sell to. Don't worry, you can still sell to multiple different countries using Google Shopping ads. You will be able to go and target multiple different countries, but you're just going to choose the main country for now. So we can go and choose the country and click on confirm target market. You can then choose which products you want to sync from Shopify to your Google Merchant Center. So we're going to choose all products, leave the default product title as default, same with the product description. We are going to choose all variants. We are going to choose yes under taxes. We've got the notification email to let us know when the syncing process has been completed. So you can go and make sure that that's an email that you can access. And then for product ID format, just choose global format. This is the default one that we are going to use, and then click on sync. On the next page, you will be prompted to connect your Google Ads account to Simp Rosie's as well. So click on sign in with Google, sign into your Google account and click on continue. Click on continue again, and then you can scroll down and it will say choose your Google Ads account. Choose the Google Ads account that we created earlier in the tutorial and click on confirm and continue. Click on yes, link automatically, and then you will be prompted to set up Google Ads dynamic remarketing and conversion tracking. You're definitely going to want to set this up because when we start running our first Google Shopping Ads campaigns, this means that we can actually track the amount of conversions, sales, and revenue that we bring in with our Google Shopping Ads campaigns. So we are going to scroll down and click on Let's Proceed. Make sure dynamic remarketing, conversion tracking, add to cart tracking, and begin checkout tracking are all toggled on, and then click on Set up Tracking Tags. You will then be prompted to create a Google Ads campaign. Now we're not going to do this just yet because we want to make sure all of our product information syncs through to the Google Merchant Center correctly first. So we're just going to scroll down and click on Skip Campaign Creation. Now you are going to want to choose a SimpRosis plan so every month they can continue to sync your product data from Shopify to the Google Merchant Center. So click on Plan, and based on the number of products that you have in your store, you can choose a plan. So you can see I've got 300 products, so I'm going to choose the up to 500 products plan. So just click on Approve Charge. Once you approve your plan, you will be brought over to the Integrations tab within SimpRosis, and it will say we are syncing products from your store. Once this process completes, your products will start appearing here. If you're submitting products for the first time, please wait for around 10 hours after the process is completed. Normally it takes 4 hours, but sometimes it may take up to 10 hours. So basically we now need to just leave this for 10 hours, and then we are going to come back to it and check that all of our products have been synced from Shopify through to our Google Merchant Center. So I have left the SimpRosis app to sync all of my Shopify products through to my Google Merchant Center. I have now come back the next day, and if we come over to manage products, we can see that all of my products have been synced through. Now don't worry if your products say pending initial review. You can actually go and double check this within your Google Merchant Center. So just come over to your Google Merchant Center, click on products, and then you can go and see all of your products that have been approved or not approved. Now, initially, your products will say under review in here. So it will say Google is reviewing your products. So I recommend to leave this for around 24 hours for Google to review all of your products. So if I actually just scroll down now, we can see that all of my products have the status as approved, and they have the green tick next to them under visibility. So they have all been approved now. Now, some of your products might not be approved. So if we just go and scroll up, we can click on Needs Attention, and this will show us some of the products that haven't been approved. So you can see I've got 42 products that haven't been approved because the images haven't been processed. I have one product that hasn't been approved because it cannot be viewed on the desktop version of the store. And I have all of my products that are limited because they are missing a value, which is the age group. So we're going to go and fix this in a moment. Now you can easily go and make all of these fixes to your products. So for example, image not processed. If I click on view fix, it's actually just going to say no action needed. The image will be processed again in 3 days. So I can simply leave this. If I click on view fix for this particular product here, it will say update your product page. So if I click on view products, I could see this product here, so I can go and update the product page later for this particular product. Now for the other fix, which is missing value group, so if we go back to needs attention, so as a matter of fact, we'll just click to all products, and then we'll click back to needs attention, and now we can see that I have 5,400 products that are limited because they are missing a value, which is age group. Now we don't have to go and fix these one by one, and this is the power of using the SimpRosis app. It will allow you to go and update data for your products in bulk. So we can come back to the SimpRosis app, and you can see here that all of these products are missing the value age group and missing the value gender. So what we can do is we can select all products, and you can see it says do edits in bulk. So we can go and click on this, and then if we scroll down, you can see assign age group, and then also if we scroll down, we can see assign gender. So you can go and assign any of these values to your products in bulk. So I'm going to go and click on, firstly, we are going to assign an age group. So we're going to click on assign age group, and I am going to choose the age group for my products. So my age group is going to be adults, and I'm going to click on apply in bulk. It should then say success bulk action performed. So we can click on OK, and now I can select all of my products again. I can click on do edits in bulk, and now I am going to assign a gender. So we're going to click on assign gender, and I'm going to go and choose male. So most of my products are for males. So of course, if you're selling products that are for women and men, you can choose unisex. If you're selling products just for women, you could choose female. Most of my products are for male. So I'm going to choose male and click on apply in bulk again. Again, we will see success. So once we have done that, we can now refresh the Simrosys app. And once you refresh the app, you can scroll down and you will also see refresh product errors. So we can just refresh this as well. And then we can click on fetch product status. And as you can see, it will say syncing. Now, because we've only just updated these missing values, age group and gender, again, it can take a little while for this to show in our Google Merchant Center. So again, we are just going to leave this for around 24 hours again, and then we will come back to this and we will see if all of our fixes have been corrected within the Google Merchant Center. So like I say, it can take some time for these fixes to come through. So as you can see, it's still saying review and fix these issues. So if we come to needs attention, we can come back to this again in around 24 hours, and we should see that all of these missing values age group have been assigned to our products. So then these products won't have this issue any longer. So we'll come back to this in another 24 hours. So I have left my Google Merchant Center for another 24 hours, and now all of my products have updated. So now if I come to products and I click needs attention and we just scroll down, you will see that there are just a few products that have some issues now. So you can see some of them have the missing value size, but almost all of my products are approved now. So if I come over to all products, we can see that 90% of my products are approved, and now they are ready to start advertising with Google Shopping ads. So once all of your products are approved, you're ready to start running your ad campaigns. So now we are going to come back to our Google Ads account, and from here we are ready to start running our first test campaign for our Google Shopping ads. Now the first thing you can do is in your Google Ads account, you can come to products and you can click on products. And then from here, if we scroll down, we will see all of our products from the Google Merchant Center as well. Now you will see that all of them will say not eligible in any campaigns. And that is just because we don't have any campaigns running at this point. So it will say no campaigns advertising this product. If you actually click on this button, you will see if the products have any other issues. So you can see for me, none of my products have any other issues except for this issue that says no campaigns advertising this product, which is pretty self-explanatory. We're not running any campaigns at the moment, so these products aren't going to be showing in any campaigns. So like I say, now we're ready to set up our first Google Shopping ads campaign. So we can come back to overview. And now we are going to click on new campaign. From here, you can enter in your business name, which is going to be the name of your store. And then you can go and enter in the link to your store. So you can just enter in the link to your homepage. Don't worry too much about this, because when you run Google Shopping campaigns, people will click through directly to the product page for that particular product. So you can just go and enter in your website's homepage in here and click on next. We are then going to choose a campaign objective. We are going to choose sales because we want to make more sales on our Shopify store. So we are going to choose sales. You can scroll down, click on add goal, and you are going to choose purchases. So that's our goal. Now you might see a little exclamation mark here where it says conversion actions. If we click on this, it's going to say one inactive conversion action. Now, basically what it's saying is that the purchase conversion action hasn't been verified. And that's because nobody has actually purchased from our store through Google ad campaigns yet. So it hasn't recognized that somebody has taken this action yet. But don't worry, you can go and double check this. So all you need to do is come into Shopify. You are going to come to apps, and then we are going to click on the Simrosys app. So we'll click through to Simrosys Google Shopping Feed app. And then you are going to click on the Tracking Tags tab and click on Google Dynamic Remarketing. And you will see Purchase Action Conversion Tracking. As long as it says it's active here, we know that we have our conversion tracking set up correctly. So it might not reflect within your Google Ads account right away because a campaign hasn't actually recorded a purchase yet. But don't worry, it is set up if you can see it within the Simrosys app. So now we can scroll down and click on Continue. And then we are going to scroll down and we are going to choose our campaign type. So we are going to choose Google Shopping as our campaign. So choose Shopping, and then we can scroll down and you will see to advertise products on your website, select a Merchant Center account. So you can see it's selected my Merchant Center account by default already. So if you signed up for your Merchant Center account with the same Google account that you signed up for your Google Ads account with, it will automatically select your Google Merchant Center account. We can then scroll down and it's going to ask if we want to run a PMAX campaign or a standard shopping campaign. Now, when you're running your first Google Shopping Ads campaign, it's all about testing products to see which one of your products is going to start doing well, which one is going to start making regular sales out of all of the products from your catalog. So I recommend to start running a standard shopping campaign to begin with. And then once you figure out which one of your products from your store is making regular sales, then you can go and start running Performance Max campaigns just on that product alone. So Performance Max is basically Google's AI campaign. So they do all of the heavy lifting for you. A standard shopping campaign gives you more freedom to select the budget and how you actually show your products. You can remove products from the campaign if you don't want to advertise certain products and things like that. So I recommend to start with a standard shopping campaign. Once you find a product that's doing well and making regular sales, then you can move that product into a Performance Max campaign, which is Google's AI campaigns, and then you can scale it from there. You can then give your campaign a name. So I'm just going to name this my first test campaign because I'm going to be testing all of the products in my catalog, seeing which ones do well, and then you can go and name your campaigns going forward. So you could have a summer campaign if you're running a clothing store or whatever it is, you can go and name your campaign to reflect that. So this is my first test campaign, so I'm just going to rename this. So I've just named this testing campaign entire catalog. So that's my entire catalog of products. And we are going to click on continue. You can then set your daily budget for your campaign. Now I do recommend to give Google enough spend to actually find you customers. So don't set it too low like $5 or $10. So I'm going to set mine to £20 per day. Now it really depends on how much you're selling your products for as well. So if you're selling your products for around $50, then I recommend to set it to around $20 to $30 per day, just so you're giving Google enough money to actually find you some customers. If you set your daily budget too low, you'll notice that you won't spend anything and you won't get any clicks on your ads. So I'm going to set this to £20 per day. Leave the bidding strategy as manual cost per click. When you're first starting out, you won't have any data on your ad account, so you will need to start with this bidding strategy. There are other bidding strategies like target ROAS and maximize clicks. I do recommend to use target ROAS in the future, but when you're first starting out, you won't be able to use that bidding strategy because you don't have any data on your account. So we're going to go with manual cost per click and click on next. You can then choose the countries that you want to run your campaigns to. So if you want to run your campaigns to multiple countries, you can click on enter another location, and in here you can go and choose the countries that you want to run your campaigns to. So I'm going to choose the United States, I'm going to choose the United Kingdom, I'm going to go and choose Canada and Australia, and I am going to choose New Zealand. Now, if you do see this error message saying the selected Merchant Center account has no products for one or more of these locations, and it will tell you which locations that the Merchant Center isn't connected to, you can go and add additional countries to your Google Merchant Center. So you can come into your Google Merchant Center, you can click on the settings, click on data sources, and then you can click on countries. So click on the three dots, click on edit countries, and then you can go and choose any of the countries that you want to connect your Google Merchant Center to. Now, I only done this about an hour or 2 hours ago, so that's why it's not reflecting in my Google Ads account, but I am going to select these anyway because when Google Merchant Center syncs through to my Google Ads account, usually it takes around 24 hours, it will recognize these countries again. So like I say, if you see this, just come into your Google Merchant Center and update the countries that you want to connect your Google Merchant Center to. So now we've selected the countries, we can scroll down. You will see EU political ads. Just click on no, this campaign doesn't have any EU political ads and I don't plan to use this account for that, and click on next. You can then name your ad group. I like to just name this after the countries that I'm targeting. So I'm going to put UK, US, Canada, Oz, NZ. If you're just targeting one country, for example, the US, you can just put in the US. And then you will see enter your cost per click. Now from here, you can do some basic maths to work out what's your maximum cost per click. So how much can you actually pay as a maximum to break even on a cost per click? Now, in order to do this, like I say, you can do some simple maths. So let's just say your store is running at a 2% conversion rate. That means you need 50 clicks for one customer. If you have 100 clicks, you get 2 customers, that's 2%. So that means you need 50 clicks for one conversion or one sale. So let's just say then you're paying 50 cents per click. That means it's going to cost you $25 to acquire a customer. Now, if you only make $20 profit per sale, that means you're going to run at a $5 loss every time somebody purchases. So you need to just do some simple maths. So again, if we say our store is a 2% conversion rate, so that means we need 50 clicks for one sale, and it's going to cost us 30 cents for a click. That means we can acquire a customer for $15. If we make $25 profit on a sale, that means minus our ads, we make $10 profit overall. So that's how you can do some simple maths. Now, when you're first starting out, I recommend to set your cost per click a little bit higher than you'd like. So you may run at a little loss, but in the beginning, you're just trying to gather some data and you're just trying to figure out which of your products from your store is going to do well and achieve sales regularly, and which of your products is going to be in demand and popular. So I'm just going to set my maximum cost per click to £1. Now, finally, from here, you can select the products that you want to advertise as part of your campaign. So you can decide to advertise a segment of products or all of your products. So let's just say for this campaign, I only wanted to go and advertise t-shirts. You can easily go and do that. So if you click on the pencil icon, you can click on use a selection of products, and you can select products by category. So you can see my products are categorized by apparel and accessories and also luggage and bags. So if I only wanted to advertise luggage and bags, I could just go and select this category. You can also go and select individual products. So you can do this by choosing item ID, and then you can find the item ID of the product that you want to advertise and add that to your campaign. So in order to do that, you can just come over to Shopify, come to the Simproses app, click on manage products, and then you will see all of your products, and then you can get the product IDs of the products that you want to add to your campaign. So let's say I wanted to advertise this product here. I can simply click on this product, and then from here I can get the product ID. So you will see product ID group. So I can simply copy this long number, head back to Google Ads. I can paste this in where it says search, and then you will see these are the variants for that product. So we've got large, medium, extra large, extra, extra large. So I can just go and select all of the variants for this product. And that means for this campaign, I would only advertise this product. So you can go and add the products that you want to by using the item ID. And when you're first starting out, I recommend to just test all of your products and see which ones start to make consistent sales. So I'm just going to choose all products, click on save and click on next. You will then see the summary of your campaign. So you can see we have a Google shopping campaign. We have our goal as purchases. We are going to be advertising all of our products at £20 per day with a manual cost per click bidding strategy. We've got our locations, and we also have our maximum cost per click. So if you're happy with all of this information, all you then need to do is click on publish campaign. It will then say new campaign added. Now you are going to have to wait for a few hours for your campaign to actually kick in. So I'm going to come back to this again in another 24 hours, and then we can start having a look at the data. So we can start having a look at the impressions, the clicks, the cost per click, the conversions, and all of that stuff in another 24 hours. So as you can see, my Google Shopping ad campaigns did start running, but we have run into a small issue, and that is the fact that my Google Merchant Center account has been suspended. Now you will likely run into this issue as well. Oftentimes new Google Ads accounts and new Google Merchant Center accounts do get suspended, but I'm going to show you how to fix this. So don't stress, don't worry. If your Google Merchant Center account gets suspended, I am going to show you how to fix this. So before we move on to the next part of the tutorial, where we actually start looking at the data and I show you how to read the data, I'm going to show you how to fix a Google Merchant Center account suspension or a Google Ads account suspension. And it's very simple. You are just going to come over to this help button within your Google Ads account. Then scroll all the way to the bottom and click on contact us. You are then going to type in the reason. So we're just going to type in suspension, and we are going to click on next step. And then you will see a bunch of different reasons. You'll see account suspension, reactivate your account. You're going to choose other. So make sure you choose other, and then click on next step. So we're just going to scroll down and click on next step. And then from here, we can go and email Google Ads directly. So just go and choose email. And then you are just going to enter in some information. So enter in your contact, you are going to enter in your company name, and then you are going to enter in the email address that you want to be contacted on. You can go for please request type, choose non-campaign specific, and then choose the date. So if for me, my Google Merchant Center account has been suspended, so I'm going to choose the date that it was suspended. So just go and choose the date that your ads account or your Merchant Center account was suspended. So I'm going to choose this date, and then I'm going to choose today's date as well. These are the dates that my account has been suspended. You can then choose how you want them to contact you. So you can either choose phone or email or both. I'm just going to choose email. And then you can scroll down and you are going to provide a summary of the issue. Now you are going to say this, and I'll try to leave this in the description. You are just going to say, hello, my Merchant Center account has been suspended. So if your Merchant Center account has been suspended, this is what you're going to say, and that is going to be the most likely issue for the reason why your account has been suspended. The other problem could be that you just haven't paid in your Google Ads account. So then you could just contact them and say, can I make a payment for my Google Ads account? And then they will lift the suspension. But if your Google Merchant Center account has been suspended, you can say this. Now, this is the second time my account has been suspended, but I have sent them a first email, and as you can see, they lifted the suspension. So they just said, greetings from Google Ads support team regarding your Google Merchant Center account. We truly appreciate you reaching out to us, and we recognize that your Google Merchant Center account has been suspended, especially when you've already taken great care to ensure your website and product data are compliant. Please accept our sincerest apologies for any inconvenience this may have caused. We are pleased to inform you, after following the review of your Google Merchant Center account, it has been confirmed to be fully active. So they have already lifted the suspension. Sometimes it's an automated thing with Google. So it was manually lifted and then it was automatically added back again. There can be some small teething issues in the beginning, like I say, for new accounts with Google Merchant Center and with Google Ads. So have a little bit of patience. So the likely issue you're going to run into when you come into your Google Merchant Center account, you can click on fix and you will likely see this issue where it says fix your setup and policy issues. Now it's going to say make sure your website has a domain name that matches the domain name you uploaded to your Google Merchant Center account. So just double check all of these. Your entire website shouldn't have any broken links. Your website shouldn't contain any placeholder images or text. The product details and categories should match those that you provide in the product data. Your website shouldn't contain generic information and shouldn't miss crucial information about products. So given that all of your product titles, your product descriptions are unique and you have written them yourself, all of your policy pages are correct. So for example, your refund policy, your shipping policy, your privacy policy, your terms of service, all of those are correct and you haven't just copied and pasted those from another website. And your domain name is matching the one in your Merchant Center. You don't have any broken links. You don't have any random text from your Shopify theme on your store, so placeholder text. So just double check that you don't have any of that. And given that you don't, you can then go and send them this message. Now I know for a fact that I have completely unique content on my store. All of my titles and descriptions are unique. I don't have any placeholder information. I have all of my policy pages, and also make sure that you've got contact information on your store. So you have a contact us page, you have an email address in your footer, and ideally you should have a phone number in your footer as well. As long as you've got those three, you can go and send them this message and they will go and lift the suspension. So I've just said my Merchant Center account has been suspended again. The suspension was lifted last week after I reached out, but it has now been reapplied. I'm unsure what I'm doing wrong, and I would greatly appreciate your guidance. To clarify, my website includes the following. And like I say, as long as you have this, they should lift the suspension. So an up-to-date policy pages, privacy policy, terms of service, refund policy, and shipping policy, all of which match the information provided in my Merchant Center. So when you set up your Google Merchant Center, make sure that the information you enter in here in terms of shipping and returns, your business information, all that stuff is the same as the information on your website. So we can just go and add that in. Full contact information, including a contact us page, email address, phone number, and physical address. You don't need a physical address. As long as you have these three, a contact us, an email address, and a phone number, you can go and add this to the email you're going to send to Google. No placeholder content. All information on the store is original and written by us. Now make sure that that is correct. So for my store, like I say, all of my titles and descriptions are completely unique and written by me with the help, of course, with ChatGPT. But I have edited them and make sure that they're not just copied and pasted directly from AliExpress, for example, or any other supplier. Unique product titles and descriptions for all items, a custom domain name that matches my business name in the Merchant Center. Given the above, I'm struggling to understand why my account has been repeatedly suspended. Could you please review my account and provide? So you don't have to say repeatedly. If it's the first time it's been suspended, just say, I'm struggling to understand why but my account has been suspended. Could you please review my account and provide specific feedback on what is causing the issue? I'm eager to resolve this and ensure my account complies fully with Google's policies so I can begin running campaigns again. Thank you for your time, support, best regards, and you can just put your name in. Now, also what you're going to want to do is you are going to take a screenshot of the problem. So you will see here attach an uncropped screenshot or file. So you are going to come over to your Google Merchant Center account, click on Fix. So under Overview, click on Fix, and you are just going to take a screenshot of this page. So all you can do is use the snipping tool, or you can just press print screen. So I'm just going to grab this and I'm just going to take a screenshot of this page. And once you have taken a screenshot of this page, head back to Google Ads, click on Choose File, and just upload a picture of that screenshot. So we're just going to wait for that screenshot to load. As we can see, we have the screenshot attached now. And then all you are going to do is click on Submit. Once you click on Submit, it will say your email has been sent to Google Ads support. And as you can see, it says we usually reply within 1 working day. So you should get a reply from Google Ads support, either telling you what you need to fix on your site to lift the suspension, or if you have done everything correctly, they will send you an email like this, just saying that your suspension has been lifted and your Google Merchant Center account is fully active, and then you can start running your ad campaigns again. So once the suspension gets lifted, then we can continue running the campaigns, and then in the next part of the tutorial, I can show you how to read the data for your campaigns. Now, one last thing I do want to mention when it comes to getting the suspensions lifted on your Google Merchant Center account is that you're going to have to be very persistent with Google's customer service. They will send you templated emails over and over again. So just be consistent with your replies. As you can see here, I have sent 16 emails to the Google Merchant Center customer service. So if we just go and have a look at some of these, you can see that I have been very persistent with these. So as you can see, I have said here, I appreciate your efforts, but I feel we're going in circles. However, as I've stated before, my website does not include any of these problems. There are no placeholder images or text. All product titles and descriptions are unique and written by us. There are no broken links or incomplete pages. All categories are relevant and consistent. Policy pages and contact information are complete and accurate. Now, you can just ask ChatGPT to reply to the emails that they send you, because like I say, they will send you emails with pre-made templates, so they don't actually answer your emails correctly. So just ask ChatGPT to answer the emails. And if you are persistent and if you don't have any problems on your website, the ones that they outline in their emails, and you have fixed all of them, then eventually they will lift the suspension. So as you can see, after 16 emails back and forth, they have said, here, my name is Kitty and I'll be handling your case moving forward. After a thorough review of your Merchant Center account, it was determined that there were no current policy violations. So basically they've lifted the suspension. So like I say, just be very persistent. Don't give up. Just keep emailing their customer service, letting them know that you don't have any problems with your website that they're outlining, and eventually they will lift the suspension. So now we can move on to the next part of the tutorial, where we will be looking at reading the data for your first test ads campaign. So we can come over to the Google Ads account. And as you can see, I have run a campaign for a couple of days now. And you can see I have spent £330. I got 450 clicks. The average cost per click was around 74 pence. Now, if you're in the UK, you want to keep your cost per click under £1. If you're in the US, you want to keep your cost per click under $1. So this is a really good sign. The cost you might be thinking is quite high. Now, I didn't achieve any sales. So you might be thinking, well, you spent £330 and you haven't achieved any sales. That's quite a lot of money to spend. You don't need to spend this much on your first test campaign. And I'm going to show you why in a second. So we're going to drill down into how you can actually read the data. This is an overall snapshot of the data. Of course, in your Shopify store, you'll be able to see if any sales have come through. But what you're really going to want to look at is the clicks on the products and the data on the products themselves. So if we come over to products in your Google Ads account, you can click on products, and now you can start looking at the data on individual products. Now, the reason that I've spent so much and I haven't achieved any sales is because I have 300 products in my catalog. So I've kind of spread my budget across 300 products. You don't have to do that. You can start your first test campaign just by testing 30 products, for example, if you want to, and then you could just spend £100 on 30 products and you'll get a similar amount of data. Now, the things you're going to be wanting to look for are the amount of clicks. So you're really going to want to start running campaigns on the products that are the most popular, the products that are getting the most clicks. So you can see here we've got a few products. This one's got 6 clicks, this one's got 6 clicks, this one's got 5, this one's got 5. So there are certain products that are getting more clicks than others. You also want to have a look at the average cost per click on some of these products. Now you can see the cost is very low on a lot of these products, £3, £4, £5, right? So it hasn't spent a huge amount on any one particular product. But like I say, this first test campaign is just for me to figure out what people are actually clicking on, what people are searching for. And then for the next campaign, I'm going to narrow it down to around 5 to 10 products. And then I can allocate that budget a bit better. I can spend a bit more because really you need around 50 to 100 clicks on any one product to achieve a sale. So if we go back to the overview, you can see I've got 450 clicks. So you would probably think you've got over almost 500 people to your website and you haven't achieved any sales. But you basically need around 50 to 100 clicks on a single product. The average conversion rate for an e-commerce store is around 2%. If it's a brand new store, it can be even lower than that. So that's why I say you need around 50 clicks to get a sale. If your conversion rate is 2%, that means if 50 people click on a particular product, one person will buy. So now I can narrow this down. I can start looking at which products I want to focus my main campaign on. That first test campaign was just to see which products people are clicking on, which ones they're interested in, and to see the click-through rate, to see the average cost per click on some of these products. So if we scroll down, you can see the average cost per click on most of these products is under £1. So you can see some of them are a bit higher. So for example, this one here, the average cost per click is around £1. So that way I can kind of gauge leather bags, the cost per click is going to be slightly higher. If we scroll up, most of the products that are getting clicks are these double-breasted suits. So you can see here, or just blazers, suits, and things like that. So you can see we've got this jacket, and then we have these cropped pants for men. So now I can focus on really putting as much effort as I can into the product pages for these products, really improving them, making them to a very high level. And then I'm just going to run another campaign with 5 to 10 of these products. So for example, I could get these high-waisted pants, this jacket, and a couple of these blazers and put them into their own campaign. And then I can start spending a little bit more on just those products so I can see some more clicks on those individual products, and then I will see some sales coming in. But the main thing I would do from here is I'm going to improve the product pages. So if we have a look at the product page for these mid-waist Korean pants, so you can see cropped, straight fit trousers. If we actually just come over to the product page, I can start analyzing what I could improve on this product page. So the first thing that I've noticed, I need to improve the size guide. So I copied the size guide directly from the supplier, but the size guide is a little bit confusing and a little bit chaotic. Now we can also see where we've been running the campaigns and where the clicks are coming from. So if I go into my Shopify analytics, I can scroll down and I can see where my traffic is coming from. So you can see a lot of the traffic is coming from the United Kingdom. So that would mean that I want to go and change my size guide to inches. So you can see by default, my size guide is in centimeters. And if we click on inches, these are not rounded. So because a lot of my traffic is coming from the UK, because I was testing multiple different countries in the campaign, I am going to change my default size guide to inches because we use inches in the UK. You may use centimeters, I believe, in the US. I'm not 100% sure that, or maybe they use that in Europe, but they use inches in the UK and the US. But I know for a fact that in the UK we use inches. So most people that are coming over to the store and potentially buying this product will want to go and have a look at the size guide in inches. So I need to go and update the size guide in inches because, like I say, to me, this is a little bit chaotic because you can see here size 11, 11.4, 11.8, and that is because the size guide is being converted. So if I'm a customer and I click on this, when I have a look at which one I should buy, 28, 29, 30, when I come over to look at inches, it's going to 11, 11.4, and so on. So it's getting a little bit confusing, right? So that is why I'm going to go and update the size guide for this product before I put it into a new campaign and start running it in its own campaign so it can get more clicks and I can actually allocate the spend just to this product and a few other products to bring in more traffic on this particular product page. So this is what you're really doing in the testing phase. You're seeing which products are getting clicks, and then you're seeing how you can really improve your product pages. If there's anything that you could do. So for me, like I say, a big one for this product is just to improve the size guide. Then when I start running campaigns, I know the size guide is ready and customers are not going to get confused, and this is going to help improve my conversion rate. So that's the first thing I would do. The second thing I can do is probably get some better product images. So I could use an AI tool like this called Botica that allows you to create realistic images with models. So you can see, you can just go and upload. I know it's got women here, but it does have a lot of male models. So you can see some male models like this. So I could start getting some of these images where the head is cut off, and I can go and create some realistic model images for these pages. So that will help me to improve the product page. I could also send this product out to some influencers. So then I can go and add some social proof to the product page of influencers wearing it. So some videos, some UGC carousels and things like that. I could also go and try and get some reviews from those influencers as well. So I've got reviews on the product page. So that's how I'm really going to improve the product page. I can also go and read the copy again and see if there's anything I want to change. So for example, where it says Korean pants, maybe I want to go and test out some different keywords for this product. So that's really what you're going to want to do. You just need to go and see which of your products from your first test campaign is getting the most clicks, has a high click-through rate. You ideally want to prioritize products that have a low cost per click. So like I say, if I scroll down, this product here has a cost per click of around 90, nearly £1. So I wouldn't really prioritize this because I know it's going to be slightly expensive for me to run. But some of these have cost per clicks around 50p, 68p. So they're quite low. Like I say, for these pants, it's 50p. I know I've only spent £3 on these, but this is just how you can kind of gauge the data. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go and improve the product page for all of these products. Some of them I might need to go and edit other things. So for example, if we have a look at this product here, so we can just click on this. I am just going to copy the product name. We can come over to Shopify. I'll click on products, and then we can just go and search for this product. And again, I'll give you some more ideas of how I could improve this product. So if we just search for this product, I'm going to come over to the product page, and then we can have a look at how I would edit this product as well. So it's just all about analyzing your product page, seeing which of your products from your test campaign are getting clicks. So we'll just come to more actions. We will click on view. And from this product page, the first thing I would probably do is to go and edit the price. Now I've added a pretty high markup on this particular product, so I could go and lower the price a little bit. Again, you can see some of the product images are a little bit blurry. So I can go and create some more realistic, lifelike images using AI for this particular product page for this jacket as well. I could also go and make the fabric composition a little bit more clear. So instead of having 50%, this long thing, I could just say polyester on its own. So like I said, a lot of this stuff I've copied directly from the supplier, but now I can go and put a little bit more effort. If we have a look at the size guide again, let's have a look. I could probably make the size guide a little bit more concise. I can also go and round the inches so that they're clear for customers coming from the UK again. So there are certain things you can do to every product to optimize them and improve them. And that is basically it. Once you have gone and optimized the products that are getting you clicks, you can then just go and start a new campaign, choose those specific products that you want to add to that campaign, which I showed you how to do earlier. You can add specific products to your campaign, and then you can go and spend on those products just in that campaign so that the ad spend is allocated a little bit better. You'll get more clicks on those products, and with more clicks coming through to the products, you should see more sales coming in. And that's basically it in terms of reading the ad campaign data. And that is it for this tutorial. If you do have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more dropshipping and e-commerce content, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.